Hi, fourth grade. I hope you did well in your health test that you just had on Friday over chapters 1 through 3. We're going to start chapter 4 today about our teeth, a winning smile. So go to your books on page 51, turn there, and we're going to get started. All right. Find a mirror and take a good look at yourself. Now smile. A beautiful, healthy smile is meant to last a lifetime, and it can if you form good health habits while you are young. The small amount of time you spend daily on dental hygiene is an important investment in your future health because healthy teeth and gums are necessary for good nutrition and thus are essential for good health. Can you see what sometimes you see people and they're walking around like this? Just a quick smile can brighten someone's day. And it's really good that you take care of your teeth. We're going to talk about not just them looking good, but the reason why you have your teeth. Purpose of teeth. Besides improving your personal appearance, your teeth also aid in clear speech. Do you remember when you were missing your primary incisors or your front teeth? When I was a kid, I lost my two front teeth, and trying to say F's without your front teeth is almost impossible. You probably had difficulty saying such words as safety and sorry distinctly because your teeth help you make the sound of z and j. Say thank you. Where do you feel your teeth when you make the thank you sign? Now imagine if you had no teeth there. Try to do it without teeth and go thank you. Thank you. You can't do it without touching your teeth. Now say father. What two sounds in this word do your teeth help you make? Father. See, you can see it's like and if you didn't have both, it would be father. Father. Now, another important function of your teeth is to prepare food for digestion. So one purpose of teeth is for speech, the other is for digestion. They help, when you're eating food, they help it grind and tear and cut and break down. Let's see, the different types of teeth cut, tear, grind, and crush solid food into tiny pieces. If the food is chewed well, saliva, a digestive juice in the mouth, mixes with it easily. I hope you're not eating breakfast or something while you're watching this video because that would be a little gross. But know your saliva, not your spit right in here. Your saliva is a digestive juice in the mouth. Saliva begins the digestion of some foods. Saliva also, you know I don't like this word, the foods, making it easy to swallow. Ha ha, you can't hear me say it because you're not here and you can't say it either, so don't put it in the comments, I don't want to see it either. Okay, saliva does that for the food to make it easy to swallow because it wets it and then it makes it easier to swallow, it helps break it down. We're on page 52 now. I hope you're reading with me. Okay, let's talk about the parts of the tooth. The parts of the tooth. Well, we have two main parts. Okay, so this is the part you can see, just like trees. I was gonna say, you have the part you can see is the crown, and the part you cannot see below the gums is called your root. So you have your crown and your root. Crown and the root. Now let's talk about the teeth. So we have so we just talked about saliva, so the digestive juice in your mouth. Now you have enamel. Enamel is the hardest substance in the body. The hardest substance in the body is actually in your mouth. So this is enamel, the hardest substance of the body, and this covers the outside of the tooth. The enamel. Enamel covers the crown of the tooth, the part of the tooth that can be seen above the gum line. The enamel, which is the hardest substance in your body, protects the tooth from being worn away from the pressures of cutting, tearing, crushing, and grinding food. Next, you have the dentin. This yellow stuff inside. The dentin is a hard bone-like tissue which forms and shapes the tooth. And I don't know if you've ever, when you've lost a tooth, if you've ever taken a look at it. If you've ever taken out a tooth and looked at it, or even if it broke in half, you can see the outside layer, the enamel, and then you can see the part that gives it the shape on the inside, and it does have like a yellowish tint. And this is the hard bone-like tissue which forms and shapes the tooth. Now on the inside, you know, when you're pulling out your tooth and you do start to feel some pain, it's because it has a whole set of blood vessels that's connected to, and you might even see a little blood when you tear your tooth, when you pull your tooth out. And so this is pulp right here that's on the inside. So you have your enamel, your dentin, and the pulp. So if you ever do get a cavity, it goes all the way through. That can be very painful. The pulp is the inner part of the tooth containing nerves and blood vessels, which enter the tooth through an opening at the tip of the root. A thin covering over the root is the cementum, holds the tooth firmly together. This part right here is called the cementum, and it's a thin layer that cements the tooth in place. How you can remember it is cementum cements your tooth in place. It's a thin layer that holds your tooth right in place, just like cement. So you have the hardest substance of the body is the enamel. You have the part that gives it its shape, and that's the dentin. You have the part with the blood vessels in the center, that's the pulp. Now you have the part that holds the tooth firmly in place. That is the cementum, and it's by the root. And then you have the periodontal membrane. The periodontal membrane is a layer of tissue between the cementum and the jawbone, which connect the root to the jaw. So you have the periodontal membrane is this layer right here, the pink, and what it is doing, it's a layer between the tooth and the jawbone, because that way it's not connected there. There's like a layer right here. That's your periodontal membrane. Now, let's go over some of these. What is this? The top part you can see? Yeah, it's the crown. The part below the gums? Yes, it's the root. What about the bone-like tissue that forms and shapes the tooth? Yeah, that's your dentin. Hardest substance of the body? It is the enamel. The thin covering that holds the tooth firmly together, cementum. The layer between your jawbone and the tooth, that's your periodontal membrane. And what about the inner part of the tooth with nerves and blood vessels? That is your pulp. The pulp, and hopefully you did well on that quick review. Now, you can see at the bottom you have your teeth, the types of teeth, and there are, let's see how many they gave you. 2, 3, 5, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They gave you 32 teeth, which is how many that a normal adult would have. I think I have 28 teeth. If I'm counting mine correctly, I think I have 28 teeth. I guess we'll see. So in the front, your first 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and your bottom 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are called your incisors. Your top 4 and your bottom 4 are your incisors. When you first bite into an apple or corn on the cob, they cut the food. So these are your incisors. Then next, after the incisors, you have these right here, and they are called your cuspids. Your cuspids, or people might refer to these as your fang teeth. So you have your 4 here and your 4 here, and then on the outside of your 4, you have one that kind of angles like this, like a swivel chair or a couch. And this is your cuspids. And your cuspids, their job is to tear your food. Then behind the cuspids, so behind the first set of 4 and then these 2, you have your bicuspids. Bicuspids, and bi is 2, so it has like you can see how it has the 2 right here. And so look, your incisors and your cuspids have the 1. Now the bicuspid has the 2, and that is for crushing. And you have 2 down here, 2 down here, 2 up here, and 2 up here. And then behind that, you have your molars. And I think people have between 28 and 32 teeth. I had wisdom teeth back here. I only had 2, and they were impacted, so I had to get them taken out. So I believe I only have 28 teeth, but these are your different types of teeth. So you have your incisors for cutting, you have your cuspids for tearing, you have your bicuspids for crushing, and then you have your back ones for grinding. Those are your molars. And those are the worst when you're pulling them out to get them out. All right, now the next part is the plaque attack. The teeth are one of the most durable parts of the body. However, your teeth are under continual attack, and thus they may not be healthy. Some 200 to 300 different kinds of helpful and harmful bacteria live in your mouth. Is that disgusting or what? You have 300 bacteria. They could be helpful or non-helpful. I don't care. That's gross. Plaque, highlight if you have it, is a sticky, colorless film of harmful bacteria. It is constantly forming on and between your teeth. When sugar mixes with plaque, tooth decay begins. Every time you eat something, plaque breaks down sugar in your mouth, and it changes the sugar to acid. So the sticky plaque then keeps the acid on the surface of your teeth. Once the acid forms, it attacks the enamel on your teeth for about 20 minutes. After many acid attacks, the enamel is broken down, resulting in dental caries, also known as cavities. To help you understand the harm by an acid attack, place an uncooked egg in a clear glass and add enough vinegar, a mild acid, to cover the egg. After the egg soaks for 6 hours, observe what happens to the eggshell. Can the eggshell still protect the egg? You could try this at home, I did this at home, and I haven't really checked this yet. So this is the egg. You can soak it in some vinegar. And let me see. Stand by for 1 second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see. Now the vinegar represents an acid, the acid that is tearing apart. The eggshell, that would represent the eggshell, the hard eggshell on the outside, that would be like your enamel, okay? And the vinegar would represent the acid from the plaque, okay? Plaque is harmful bacteria that's sticky when you eat. Oh my goodness, this is gross. Okay, you can try this at home, but this is really, really weird. So what happened is, last night I put this in. The vinegar has completely softened the outside of this egg right now. This egg, it actually started to bubble last night. And you can see because it was attacking the outside of the egg. I don't know if you can see this right now, but it's rubbery, kind of. It's rubbery. It's no longer hard. Sorry, I don't know if you can see this, but you know how normally it would be like a cracking sound? It's not making that. It actually did crack it, but look, nothing's coming out. It ate away at the outside. This is gross. And that's what plaque does. I mean, acid and plaque do to your teeth. It wears away. Now, like this, can I put this back together? No, and when your enamel is worn away, you can't really you can't really fix that. So it's very important to take good care of your teeth. And you can try this at home. This feels really weird. Oh my god. Oh, that is so gross. Okay, you guys can't even see this right now, and I don't know how much you saw just now. But the thing was so soft, so I tried to show you, and it like completely cracked. I mean, the egg just like bleh. Maybe I'll show you at the end, but it's gross. It's gross. Sorry. But that's important to take care of your teeth so that does not happen to your teeth. So, let's see. Repeated acid attacks. Be careful when you see something you say, oh, it doesn't have sugar. There are many different types of things that they call, that they give names for sugar, and it doesn't sound like sugar, but it's actually sugar, okay? Sucrose, glucose, maltose, dextrose, lactose, fructose, corn sweeteners, natural sweeteners, molasses, and honey are all different forms of sugar. Most sugars, natural sugars or added sugars, mix with your plaque and cause acid to form. So as it happens, the sticky, colorless bacteria plaque mixes with the sugar, and then you have acid. It's not just how much sugar you eat that causes dental caries, however. Sometimes it's how often and how long. For example, like a hard mint with sugar, and you just have it sticking in your mouth, and you didn't eat it right away, and it's just eating and eating and eating away at your teeth. If you have a sticky food, like or a sticky candy, it's really important to brush your teeth so it's not just sitting in there. Each time you eat sugar-rich foods, acid forms on your teeth. Thus, the more times you eat sugar-rich foods, the more times your teeth are attacked by acid. If you eat sweet foods between meals, you increase the number of acid attacks, and you increase the amount of acid in your mouth. When sugar-rich foods are eaten at meal times, the saliva, which is flowing readily by the end of a meal, helps to neutralize the acid. All right, what is saliva? Saliva is a digestive juice in your mouth. What is enamel? Enamel is the hardest substance in the body, and it's on the outside of the tooth. What is dentin? Dentin is the hard bone-like material that gives the shape of the tooth. What about plaque? Plaque is a sticky colorless film of bacteria that's harmful on your teeth. Okay, what part of the tooth contains the nerves and the blood vessels? Yes, it's the pulp. What covers the root of the tooth? What covers the root? It is the cementum. What connects the root of the tooth, to the jawbone? Remember? This periodontal membrane, the periodontal membrane. What is sugar changed to when it's broken down by plaque? Sugar changes to acid. Yes. So even when you're eating bread is carbs, and carbohydrates turn to sugar. So if you have bread and you just start chewing it around in your mouth for a long time, you will start to notice that it changes into like a sugar, which will change into acid and eat at your teeth. So, number 6, when is the best time to eat sugar-rich foods? Yes, it's important to eat your sugar-rich foods at meal times. And what is another name for tooth decay? Another word for a tooth decay is a dental carie. All right, well, if you didn't know those, I would reread this and study this again so you're familiar with it. Let's go to your anatomy worksheet 4. This is found in your health testing quiz book. So if you're looking for anatomy worksheet 4, go to your health testing quiz book on page 21. Get your crayons ready, and we're going to color this and label it. So number 1 says your amazing body. We're on page 21. Label each part of the tooth and color it as indicated. All right, so the one on the left is pointing to this right here in the center. What is this with the blood vessels? Yes, it's called the pulp, so you can put the pulp on the left. And then you'll color all of that purple. The next layer, if we're on the right side, it has this part right here. This is your enamel. underneath that is your, yeah, you're right, it's the dentin. Then underneath that, now this is where it gets tricky. The third part is this right here, the thin layer, and it's your cementum. And then the last one is the outside right here, so it should be your periodontal membrane. And so color those accordingly when we're done with this video. Your amazing body. So you're gonna write the function of each type of tooth and color the teeth as indicated. You can go back to your book if you need to, but if you start in the center, the first four here, those are your incisors. Color them green. The first four, and your incisors are for cutting. Okay, now next to those, on the outside of those four, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. These are called your cuspids, and you're going to color those red. Those are for tearing. Behind them are your cuspid, or your bicuspids, sorry, and those are for crushing. So color those yellow, and those are for crushing. Then you have your molars in the back, and those are you're coloring blue, and those are for grinding. All right, I hope you learned something from today. We have our crown, we have our root, we have the outside, the hardest substance in the body, enamel, the part that it gives the tooth its shape, and this is the dentin. We have the part containing the blood vessels and the nerves. This is the pulp. We have the part that keeps the tooth in place. This is the thin layer, the cementum. We have the part that goes between the tooth and the jawbone, so the tooth's not connected to your jawbone, and that is the periodontal membrane. And then you have the different parts of the tooth. We have in your mouth, the digestive juice in your mouth is your saliva, and saliva helps break things down. You also have the sticky, harmful, colorless bacteria in your mouth. The harmful bacteria is called, it's called your plaque. And then tooth decay is dental caries. All right, now you can try that at home. Finish your anatomy worksheet if you haven't finished it, and I'll let you see for a second. This is what happened to the egg now that I have to clean it up. So, what have we learned from this? Brush your teeth, and you can try that at home with the vinegar. Just leave it on for 6 hours and not overnight like I did. All right, have a great rest of your day.